Good morning, everyone. Доброго ранку. Слава Україні. Hyvää huomenta. Ohio. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me well, see me well, and let's get started coding today. I have power. Today I have power, at least right now. But that could change any moment. Not even kidding here. Okay. All right. Arrange some windows. Guten Morgen. Gotta add that to my morning greeting routine. So I assume you can hear me and everything is all right. Okay, today we're gonna be going for the crosswire IO look, which is created, buenos dias, amigo, and which is created by Unseen Studio. They had a lot of actually updates recently, I believe. I think their own website was recently nominated. Still a really cool agency, and they created the crosswire.io website, which I think is awesome. I mean, the transitions between. Okay, I gotta switch the screen so you can see it better. Hello everyone. So they have a really nice transitions between the scenes, like real smooth and lots of small elements with the nice like animations. Lots of cool stuff in here. Of course, I will not create the full website in 1 hour, obviously, but we're gonna try to create some of the coolest parts of this website. Right, this is what we're gonna be building today, and we're gonna be using Three.js. So let's get started. And again, hello to everyone. Let me know where you're from. Let's check the geography real fast, and let's get going. While we do that, I'm gonna run my usual boilerplate. We're gonna call this one, well, cross wire. I'm trying to switch to the warp right now. Not sure it's going that well, but it's kind of nice. So first of all, I'm gonna install some stuff. Thank you, Amelia. I wish I could say the same in your language. By the way, what's the name of the language? Pardon me that I don't know that, but what's the name of the language that you speak in South Africa? Is it just South African language or a name probably? Oh, to Taiwan. Доброго ранку, Славутич. Alright, so we got this. Gonna do the code. I gotta automate this process of aligning windows, but yeah, it is what it is. Right. The website seems to function anyway, even in this narrow window. Tijuana. Alright. Now we have like the full globe, I guess, because we have this hemisphere and the other one. And then we also have South Africa, so that's the full planet actually. Alright. Where do we start with this one? So first of all, there are some objects in this scene, right? And I believe it is actually possible to recreate these ones with just extrude geometry. So you could just go for the Three.js extrude. There are some drawbacks with this one. And the main one, I think, is having UVs. Like you would have to calculate your own UVs probably for the extrude geometry. Like it can do the beveled like boxes with rounded edges, but I think there's gonna be a problem with the UVs on the edges, and we're gonna need UVs here. And also, there would be a problem with these shapes because they don't really go all the way to each other, as you can see. Like especially here, it doesn't go all the way to the edge, the corner. It stops here because it looks more beautiful this way. Hello to Canada. Really? To Mariana? This is for anybody that doesn't know, this is the street that I live in. All right, all right. Boom, boom. Where do we start? Where do we start? So yeah, the objects. I already downloaded the objects, so let's just preview them. So they're using the GLB files, and they look somewhat like this. They use 3 of them. This one is a quarter of a circle, and this one which completes that quarter of a circle, like this nice shape. What is good about them that they have like nice UVs, and this is the benefit of drawing this. Oh, to Nikolaev. Oof, almost said Nikolaev. Right. Yeah, so let's load them. I'm gonna copy them, and I also downloaded the textures. These are the textures that I used on the website, and we're gonna see how exactly they help us to achieve this look. So the objects are called ob1 and obi, almost. And let's do this, not assets. So let's get the object URLs in the parcel. Now the next step, I kind of want to load these objects. I don't need all this stuff. So here, yeah, let's first run something, right? Yeah, so we have the template in place. Thank you for asking. Well, I'm good. Today I slept a lot. Hopefully we will not have any blackouts today because it's way too sunny today, and I believe our heroes fixed all the stuff that was damaged by the missiles 2 or 3 days ago, well, at least temporarily fixed, because we had some major missile attack again like 2 days ago. Right. So we're gonna command this, but like at this moment in time, it doesn't seem like a big deal anymore. Why don't I have them? Okay. Right, so this is empty because I don't have anything, and now I need to load the stuff. So there are a couple of ways to load the stuff. I already have the GLTF loader, which can, okay. I really love, I can't get used to this, like helping me with my own variables actually, because like no autocomplete would know that I have the ob1 variable already. Although I hate that it doesn't get the arrow functions yet. So you have to edit it anyway. So this way we can, yeah, basically do this. And we're going to see some object. And we can already see that it's actually centered at the bottom. So we could probably do something like this. I think it's 10 is the size of it. Yeah. So now we have this column here. It's pitch black because I don't know why. It probably is like mesh standard material or something, and you don't have any lights in this scene, and that's why it's black. Hello to India too. All right. But I actually need 3 of them, and to add 3 of them, you would need it's a little bit of a hassle. Like you need either promise all or like waiting to load them all. So maybe I'll just wait, just do something like mesh equals wait this GLTF. I think there's gotta be a lot of async this, and now I need to add the async here just to make it without the what they call it, promise hell or like something like that. So I think I also can do this, get deeper. Do I get anything in there in the children? The children is actually a group, and then I need to take the mesh. I'm only interested in the geometry actually. I only need the geometry here, so that's geo1. I'm gonna make font bigger probably. Okay, hello to Bangladesh. Looks like it's video. Yeah, that's true. Also smooth. So smooth. But we're gonna at least, I think at least 40% of this amazing look we're gonna be recreating today. So you're gonna be feeling that we created something cool. But I gotta speed it up. All right. So I have the. I'd rather remove it. We don't need any lights here. Usually you want to avoid lights at all costs. Taking lights is better than having lights. All right. So we have children and children. Children. I'm much dumber than Copilot. It doesn't make such stupid mistakes. Children. 0, because this is the first one is a mesh, and then geometry. Okay, so this should be a geometry, buffer geometry. No? What's that then? Children. So this is group. Okay, I still have to take another children. So it's like grandchildren, something. What is going on here? Okay, we finally got the buffer geometry here. And I need 3 of them, just so we don't get back to this. I'm gonna take 3 of them. Not consistent at all with the numbering here, but the hell, we need this once. So just to check that we have all the geometries in place, like Geo2, Geo3 here. Yeah, so we have 3 geometries. Well, they are different. I hope so. At least I'm loading different objects here, and then they're not actually different, you know, because I'm still using the hell. Okay, now they are different because I'm actually using the different objects here. All right, so we have 3 geometries. Now the next step, we could actually just create like hundreds of meshes and populate the whole screen with them. Where's the crossfire? Yeah, like to create this kind of grid, but this wouldn't be performant at all because we would obviously need to animate their positions later on, and well, it just doesn't. It's not sustainable. Doesn't work like that. So we need to create the instanced mesh out of those. And to do this, I would need first to create some kind of material, which I have already, but let's create a debug material first. Normal material, just to test things first, because you know, to use the instances in your shader material, you would need to add some like instance metrics, probably. So let's say we have some kind of rows, which is 10, and then this count equals rows multiplied rows, and then what else? What else? What else? I think to like position correctly this dummy, you always need a dummy to use instances because it's easier to spread them around. And then I'll need 2 loops. No, first I need to create the instance mesh, which is going to be pretty much this. Yeah. I wonder if at some point in time it's just going to write code for me. Well, not this part, although this part comes from the Three.js examples, I believe. So it learned on the Three.js examples, and then it's using it. Anyway, and then this scene at this instance. Maybe we will see something. Okay, we'll just see one of them. This is not something that I like. So let's, gonna be rows. Then I need another loop like that. I'm creating a grid, ij. And then when I just lazy, I'm just formatting everything right. Okay. I wonder, by the way, if there's a way to get even deeper in this like decomposing JavaScript thing. Could you like go even deeper in some way, like maybe a little something like this? Gotta learn JavaScript finally. Ooh, hyvä huomenta to Finland. Mm, 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 mm. My friends from Finland used to teach me how to pronounce good night in Finnish. It really sounds weird. Hyvä yötä. All right. Is it the right thing that Copilot says? Like, in the current development, you have to think like, is this correct code? You're not actually writing code, actually thinking if this is correct. It does look pretty much correct to me, to be honest. Except that like maybe you could do something like this instead of this. And then x, y, I don't actually need y. This could be as well 0, so like y is going to be here. So it's not actually x and y 3D coordinates, it's more like x and y grid coordinates in this particular place. And right, so this changes between 1 and like minus rows divided by 2, minus rows divided by 2. This dummy position set, not actually this. So it did make a mistake. Oh no, it didn't make a mistake. It was calculating x and y before that. Just me who made a mistake. Okay, so we are almost there. Minus 10 here. Okay, so it seems that it doesn't really work for me yet. Some reason. So I'm going into the instanced mesh. Maybe I need to update some like attributes kind of thing in there. So I'm just gonna go to the Three.js. Oh, it's not yet. We gotta buy Three.js comp. Three.js examples. Just safest spot. So yeah, we do need to update the attributes after all. Right. So this should work, but it doesn't. And why is that? Yeah, this instance set matrix at maybe this was missing. Yeah, I believe so. So now we have the grid. And this is already an instanced mesh, so it's only one like render call here, which is really good for performance. Really good. All right. The next step, I kind of want to use my own material. Yeah. You're right. It was undefined because Copilot helped me with that, but he didn't like realize that I need to define the variable actually. Have you seen, by the way, the guys like recently on the Reddit, someone posted ChatGPT versus Stockfish playing chess. It's a really funny example of how helpful the AI is right now. I mean, it is helpful, but not with the Stockfish. All right. Hello to Vietnam as well. All right. Next, just gonna follow some sequence here. So we created the instance mesh. For now, I'm gonna just use the basic grid. Later on, we can populate it with different meshes. By the way, I could just add right here and it's gonna be fun already. I also kind of wanna move my camera something far away and then with the angle, something like this. I also want to use not the perspective camera, but orthographic camera, and then the frustum. What's going to be the frustum here? I don't know, 4. Yeah, that looks good. So obviously they are using the orthographic camera because you don't really see which is there's no perspective in this rendering. All right. Next, Next, where do we go next? We want to use our shader material right now. So we basically created the mesh, and the thing is now I want to use my shader material to recreate it. So instead of just mesh normal material or whatever, by the way, we could just temporarily test our matcap, which is gonna be matcap. So instead of using ugly material, let's create the beautiful material, matcap, and then let's use this one, matcap PNG. So the website, I think they have 6 of them, and they change, like while you scroll, they slightly animate those matcaps, so you get a kind of a different lighting or look to the website. Maybe like more purple, because you could see that they are kind of like similar colors. It's just that the blue light actually changed its position here, and well, in the yellow one as well. So it kind of simulates that the lights are moving around, but you don't actually have any lights. It's just the texture being sampled. Okay. We have it here now. If we just use the matcap material, it already looks fun. Not too much fun, but fun. Let's see like what's the difference between those two actually. Well, yeah, it also depends on the angle from which you look at them. But anyway, now use this one. Looks cool with a different angle. Already looks cool, right? So with such an easy, like really easy setup, you could achieve amazing looks. It really depends on the angle, right? So you gotta find the correct angle from the camera to look at this thing to get the colors that you want. Like this probably is something, yeah, kind of like this. Anyway, let's move on. Now I want to use my custom material here instead of matcap material. So where was I? Material. Now I don't have anything, nothing is moving, but I need texture. So first of all, I need this, let's call it matcap. Right, we have it. What else do we need there? Well, I think we're good for now. The rest is go to the vertex shader, and we actually need like this is usually the kind of MV position. So yeah, I usually multiply this with MV position, and at some point here I need to multiply it with an instance matrix. So I can't. I mean, I shouldn't actually. I think it's already defined. So this way I'm gonna get the shader error that, yeah, redefinition. All right, so I have it already. And this means that I have to probably here. Or maybe not. Dimension mismatch. Okay. I gotta figure out. Should have been alright, but maybe we shouldn't multiply this. We should just maybe. Oh, I believe this gotta be a four-dimensional thing. Yeah. This is the problem. Yeah, right. So now we have everything. The looks are just the UVs here. Hello to Morocco. Whoa. Now we have this. Now we have this in the shader material actually. What I want to do here also, I want to do. I believe first it should be multiplied by the model matrix. model matrix, and then the view for the camera, like MV position, model view position equals view matrix multiplied with MV position. This should work. This is the same thing. Yeah, this is the same thing. I need this because I can change MV position right here. Like I can do y plus, let's also add some random attribute. Like right now we are changing the positions of our objects with this thing, which I don't want to do. But what I want to do, I have let's call it a just random. Gonna be this count, and then in this loop I'm just gonna random index math random, and then in the end I have to add this not this, it's gonna be this instanced geometry set attribute. Come on, help me. Oh, just help. How to trigger this copilot? I mean, it's gonna be a challenge. Add random values to the geometry, and let's see if it helps me. Yeah, yeah, it did help. Like if you write the comments properly, it does try to like help you properly. So this is the thing that I want. So actually add in the attribute a random. But sometimes you really like, I'm getting more lazier to write like those things because it's really a long invocation of the stuff. Attribute plot a random, and then here what's wrong with this sign actually? Let's use this sign thing. Okay, everything broke. Add 3 didn't actually work for me for some reason. Maybe let's stick to the plan. Yeah, this is wrong because this is not the buffer attribute, but it's gotta be the instanced buffer attribute. Oh, Copilot let me down. Now it works because now this attribute is tied to each of the separate meshes, not just for the like for each of the vertices. Right, now we have this. So far so good. Moving closer to the desired result. What I want to do next? I think I gotta use my matcap somehow in my shader. Called that one umatcap, right? Was that the name? Yeah, umatcap. I have the matcap texture in there. Now I have to figure out the UVs. Let's go the Mr. Dupe repository. And then let's search for the matcap. Let's find the matcap material. And let's get the stuff from there. It's like I need shader. It's not the one. These are the shaders. So first of all, I need the view position varying. Also kind of need v position and also v normal. And also world position, but let's get to that. And usually this is why the MV position is useful, because we already have that, and we can just set the varying this. So view position is minus MV position. All right. So far so good. We can actually now add this something like something like this, just to spice it up a little. Why it doesn't work? Have I removed the time? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I did. All right, but we gotta slow down the time. Wish I could do that in my real life. Okay, so now we have something pretty cool. We could actually do, what can we do? The rows, number of rows, make them 100. Now it's something pretty cool. Still running steady 60 FPS. Together with streaming, already some kind of generative art. I believe there's a lot of creative dev agencies. Just look in the comments or my tweets. Basically, every one of my tweets is the creative web agency. All right, we gotta use the matcaps. Getting distracted. Okay, so first we calculate the view position, and then we can calculate like this. You can calculate the actual UVs. I like this magic number, like 495, because of the reasons. Okay, and then let's calculate this stuff. So we have the view position here. What else do we need? We also need the normal. Yeah, but I first need to calculate that normal, and I'm not sure I have it. And just to be sure that we have the normal, yeah, now it's all black, but it's still the same scene, because I don't really have a normal yet. Let's calculate the normal. See if Copilot helps me here. Well, it does, but I also need the instance matrix here, I think. But does the instance matrix changes my normal here? If I have the orthographic projection, I believe it doesn't matter, like, because I'm looking at everything with the same angle, so it doesn't matter. But still, I think this is the way, because later we might change it to the perspective and it will stop working. Okay, so now we have the normals, and now I can try to use the matcap. So this is the correct way. Now Copilot will help me, obviously, with this one. And let's see if we get it. Yeah, so now we have it. Looks pretty cool, right? Especially because now it's our own shader material and we can basically do anything with this thing, which we're gonna do right now. Okay. We also need the world position. So I also need this thing. Position. How to calculate the world position? Okay. Usually world like first calculate just world position, because it's usually going to be it's something similar to MV position, except without the view matrix, I think. Yeah, it's just the model matrix, instance matrix. Okay, this seems good. And then I think, yeah, okay, it's more and more that Copilot writes this code for me. So this is already varying, and I'm taking only XYZ part of this world position, which is basically the same as model view position without the sans the model part, only sans the view part, sorry. Right. That's a lot of matrices for the half an hour, right? Hello to a small city in Ukraine. Okay. Getting closer. So let's output this world position just to see what exactly is in there. With shaders, it's nice that you could always output those in the fragment shader and just see them. Yeah, this seems right, because this is basically the coordinate system that I have, like three-dimensional coordinate system. And if I go further, yeah, it just seems right. Seems right to me. But I believe I also need to add this offset here. So let's calculate the offset. Plot offset equals this. Now offset here. And then should be also plus. But at this, is it the 0 value? Actually, it doesn't matter. Anyway, now it's already looking cool even in the debug view, right? Because they change in the world position and I'm outputting world position, so it's already pretty neat look. In a way, I think it's simulating the fog, or maybe like the water surface, right? Because the deeper we go, the darker it gets, actually. So it kind of, but the colors are different. Anyway, already pretty cool, right? Especially that we have 10,000 of those. That's a lot. That's a lot of objects. Alrighty. The next thing what I want to do, I want to use another texture from the website. So I believe, yeah, this is the one. Because when you go into the website, this is one more effect that I want to recreate from this. Actually, two more things left to do to create kind of a cool look here. So first, I'm gonna try to put this thing, like if you go deeper into the website, there are some like waves. Where the waves are. Here. Yeah, like this thing goes through the mesh. And I really love that look. It has this like cyber thing in there, like Tron kind of like thing, right? Because they also travel in here, but that's another story, maybe for another stream. Anyway, I think we are done with pretty much done with the vertex shader. We're gonna go to the fragment shader now. All right. So let's imagine that we have some kind of origin, which is gonna be just 0. This is the origin where the wave, this kind of wave effect will be starting. And let's like move back to the matcap color. Yeah, kind of like this. Let's make frustum a little bigger. Maybe 10. Yeah, something like that. Looks a bit cooler from perspective. And then what else? So we have some kind of origin. So I'll need to calculate at every point in time. I will need to calculate the distance from origin to the like pixel on my screen. Okay. But first of all, yeah, let's put the texture. Let's put the texture down. Let's try to put the texture down. One last thing. Let's move them all to the 0. Perfect grid. And now I can try to use in the fragment shader. They call it scan. And it's going to be texture. But we have to. Where's my scan? Did I even download it? Scan PNG. Let's get the scan PNG. Let's get the you scan. Okay, what's the error here? Yeah, texture 2D. You scan and then UV. Let's just use the default. Yes, now we put the texture on all those meshes, which, well, looks weird, but we don't actually need to do this. So let's do the scan UV equals actually fract of v world position xy. Should I multiply it with something? No, I'm not sure. And let's do this, scan UV, and then let's use this. Well, something is where maybe XZ. I actually need XZ because Y is 0, everyone. Okay, so now we put the texture on all those meshes. Maybe now I need to move camera closer. Anyway, so now we still have all those meshes. I can bring back the animation. Maybe just make it smaller. So we do have all those textures. And by the way, you could see that like on the edges, we don't actually have anything. And that's because we're only using the X and Z part of the UVs. What we can do here and what the guys in the Unseen Studio did, which is pretty neat trick. So if V normal is less than 0, you could scan UV. We could actually take the usual UVs. So when the V normal is less than 0, that means it's not pointing upwards. And this means that we could just use the generic texture, like the generic UVs here. Let's try this. And from here, comparison, yeah, we only need the Y coordinate, like whether it's pointing upwards. And now it's too big, so maybe multiply it with 10. And now we are wrapping our texture, actually, because this box is exactly 10 times higher than it's wider. If I multiply the UVs by 10, it actually wraps up almost perfectly. Okay, there are some like edges where it doesn't wrap, but I don't think it will be noticeable with the thing that we are trying to do. Anyway, so now we got the texture here, like the scan mask, let's call it. Right, and I can take something like this, just one of the things that I need here. Okay. All right. So far, so good. Hello to Poland. Right. Okay. What's next? Next, I need to create this actual wave, like going through the mesh. Let's take a look at all those 10,000 meshes, actually. That's a lot of them. I think I'd rather also take a fraction here. Yeah, it's weird that with some angle. Oh yeah, that's because the V normal Y actually changes the direction once the camera is lower than the mesh. That's why I get this. But as long as we are looking on the angle and we control the scene, it doesn't really matter. So it's only when we get deeper. All right. The wave. Wave. Can it help me with this one? No, it's not the wave that I was looking. Although kind of interesting too. Probably just a black and white wave here. Okay. What's gonna be next? First, the distance. I'm gonna calculate the distance, and it's gonna be the V world position and the origin. And let's like set up the debug thing here. Want to debug everything? Let's debug this dist. It's gonna be the value of this dist. Yeah, also was like amused how they fixed this whole situation, because combining those two values kind of really neat. Yeah, so now we have this, and this is fine. Yeah, if you're looking from the top, you could see it's smooth. It's just that because we are changing the changing the height of the, maybe I should remove that for a moment. Yeah, so it's going to be perfect distance, like it's 0 at the origin point, and then it slowly goes into the infinity. All right, and we have time also, and we have to combine those two. So plot something radial move is going to be something with a minus. So subtract dist minus time. Yeah, kind of getting there. So because this value goes into the infinity, and with the time, like without the time, it will just get this. But with time, we get those circles coming in from the. You can already see where we are going with this one. Viva Humenta, my friend. Okay. Now I have to just connect this with the texture and with colors, and it's kind of tricky a little bit, but let's see. And then just one more final trick after this, and we are done. Turned out to be a little bit more work than I thought in the beginning. So now we need to smooth this thing just to make it a little more like cybernetic kind of waves. So just to remember the values here, I think just gotta multiply this with the 1 minus smooth step, and then the dist. Minus smooth step 1, 3 dist. Okay. It's just getting a little smoother. You could see that, like, we could just output this value basically to see what it does. So this is kind of this smoothing, and just smoothest things a little. And then I think they use another kind of smoothing just to make it even, just to cut off a little bit. So radial move. Something with a step. One minus step time, and then, well, dist. Let's see what this is about. I'm making the right move here. Yeah, so this is the harsh kind of circle, and this will cut it will not. I will not have the infinite amount of circles now. I will only have the one now. So this basically cuts this circle to 1, and then we create an infinite amount of circles and then cutting 1 inside, so that it starts with 1 and then it fades away when it goes to the. I don't actually need it to fade away, to be honest, but I believe I gotta move. I gotta add the time at some point here. But that's still nice. Okay, anyway, this should work out for us well. And then I need to create some kind of variable to put the texture in there. So I'm gonna call it scan mix. And this one is going to be, let the guys use some magic values. I'm not sure if they are like really important, but let's just follow those magic values. And 1 minus, basically inverting this thing again, radial move. So let's output this and let's see what I have here. So basically just cuts it to the edge. The less this value is going to be, the more narrow the circle is going to be. with this one, it's going to be like real white. So it just creates something like this, right? What else? What else we could do here? So now we could finally add the actual texture here. And the scan mix is going to be, this moment, I think, I gotta use the scan mask. Oh yeah, better to multiply with this one. Yeah, so we're multiplying with this one. When this one goes to 0, it just leaves the stuff untouched. But when we have some values in there, it actually outputs our texture, our mask texture, which is kinda neat. I think smaller than this. I think also something we gotta make it, just to make it brighter, we gotta add another and just another another thing like this to make it brighter on the edge. Except it was 0.3, we could do it 0.1, like a really narrow edge to make it just to make it brighter in there. Yeah, you could see now we have like a more brighter edge here. Also wonder why my circles are disappearing, and it's probably because of this step thing that I've added at some point. Do they disappear? Oh, this one cuts it. Yeah, so I think maybe I should add like a time in here as well. But it depends on the look. Like maybe we need to cut it at some point. Anyway, let's leave it at just like this because I need to see all of them obviously, and it's cooler to see all of them coming in from the center. And now we have this edge because this basically did the same as this, except it's a more narrow kind of edge. So I think we are done with this fancy math, but I think it's just like trial and error. You just try a lot of things and then finally you get the look that you want, like the brightness that you want on the edge. I think any combination of smooth tap and steps could work, just that I'm trying to get it more similar to the original design, and there are some magic values in there. So all right, they actually using two colors to map this whole wave into the original mesh grid, and I believe it's something like this, and then two colors. Already kind of helping me with something, but what I want here, I think they use let's use something really bright here. And the second one, RGB, something blue. And well, the scan color, let's just output the scan color. Pretty cool, right? Except that I don't really need the reds, probably. But anyway, looking pretty cool, even with these colors. Let's see how it works. Yeah, it's a little better. I like this color scheme. Okay, well, it's only the last thing that is left. So we could actually do finally this, and then RGB, and this one also RGB. I don't really change alpha transparency here. Scan color, scan mix here. And now I think you gotta make it less harsh. And maybe less harsh in here as well. Yeah, and also probably red is not the, or whatever the color I picked there. Maybe it's just white, should be just white. Maybe, well, the blue one that I like it. Maybe this is actually the look. It's up to, maybe multiply this a little bit to make it brighter on the edge. Make it white. Now it's a matter of like right coefficients to make it look whatever that you want to look at. And then we can actually bring back the animation here. And it's going to be like using all those dynamic positions for those waves, which is pretty cool if you ask me. And then another interesting part about this is that you could actually, how many rows do we have here? Let's use 5. So when those waves are coming, they actually, it's not just a 2-dimensional wave, it's actually a 3-dimensional sphere-like wave in this space. So we could see those waves being projected on all sides of the mesh, which is, if you ask me, like really cool. If you look on top, it's just the concentric circles, but I mean, that's cool, right? Had to figure out the correct color, but I forgot the correct color. Forgot to write it down for me. It's especially cool on the edges. Like you could see how the waves coming in, and on the sides you could still see this pattern, this same pattern. And because it tiled correctly, except for the coloring maybe, but it actually tiling correctly, hexagonal, it actually looks pretty cool. All right, and the last thing to add, maybe, I mean, this is like the part that I wanted to recreate here. Maybe I should play with the colors more here. Ooh, all sorts of different looks here. Maybe here, like at any point you're changing coefficient and you get in something new. Well, I guess it's up to the, we can make it super bright, super like saturated, or we can make it like medium saturated. Let's leave it at this. No, let's make it a bit whiter. Okay. Well, we still did this in under 1 hour. I mean, I knew what I'm gonna do, but this is not really a complicated thing. It's medium complicated, maybe. And the last thing I want to do, or maybe we should leave it at that. The last effect that they're using to create this amazing look. I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty much similar, actually, what I did. Maybe just a little bit different. Mine even brighter. Anyway, the last look that I do here, you could see that there's a reflection, or kind of a shadow or reflection for each of those meshes. And this is actually a reflection, and let's just try to do the last thing, Three.js. It's called SSR, Screen Space Reflections. So what I want to do here, give me the code, give me the code. Add-ons. Let's see what's going to happen. I believe this SSR is only for perspective camera. That's the problem. There's some others which work with orthographic cameras. This one is for perspective, but we're going to change to perspective camera for a second. This actually might look even cooler with perspective camera. Let's try to use it. Yeah, now you see what perspective changes actually. Okay. All right. What else? And obviously you could change this position because it's just the value. What I was going to do? Oh, yeah, the SSR, right. SSR. So I need the SSR pass. Where is it? Okay, this is it. I'm gonna put the init post. This should be like this. These both are null. I don't really have is it selects? Yeah, it selects. Why it's okay. Right, and then we're gonna add this one. Also need to, and the other thing that I need to do is this. Okay, init post. Right, init post is not defined. Of course, it's not defined. All right, so now we have back to the scene, renders okay. I think I also maybe this here, because I'm getting some artifacts here, which is actually useless because I'm going to be using post-processing now, which I'm not going to be using it, but still pretty nice to see the anti-alias scene. Now I need to switch the rendering. I want to switch the rendering. I also would need some parameters probably. Yeah, we're getting something, but not quite. And you know why? Because that would require a lot more steps. Dynamic scene would require a lot more steps because this pass is using normal material to get the normals of the scene, and that normal material doesn't use this animation in there. So this will look like what I want to do, but this will work. Just for a second, let's make it static. And you see this amazing look that we have here, like those, what do I call them? Shadows reflections are really making it. Okay, I have to remove the circles for a second because it's getting too much stuff happening in here. But you could see how amazing like these reflections are coming. It's just right coming home with this look because it looks so reflective now. Without the that, it looked pretty cool, right? But with the reflections, like with this, see, it's pretty amazing. And this is what they actually use in there, except that they're using the that the blur pass, so they're blurring the meshes, the post-processing step blurring, and then what else? And then they're using the orthographic one. I think it's just slightly different version of the screen space reflection, which is not at the Three.js examples. Or is it? Yeah, you can change a lot of things here, and well, turns out it's kind of, with some parameters, it's kind of a cheap step. So I still have my 60 FPS going on here, and if we look at the performance, well, yeah, the most of stuff happening on the GPU, but still, pretty much nothing. Nothing is happening actually. We just render this whole thing for free, I believe. Yeah. So this is it. This is the look. Let's just switch for the orthographic. Maybe it works with the orthographic. Maybe I messed it up. Let's see what's going to happen. No, it doesn't work with orthographic. This particular version doesn't work with orthographic, but hell, still pretty cool look. So what else? What else? What else? This to comment. This to uncomment. I mean, looks like a generative art or something already, right? Pretty cool. All right. I think I gotta end on this positive note. We probably achieved pretty cool result for 1 hour. We made a wave, and we also made, like I showed you how this madcap combining with the... Yeah, probably. You gotta try that. Just go for the crosswire. I think they had the mobile version, so it pretty much works the same way. Not much work to make tiles into hexagons. Well, I don't think much work here. Basic math to like make the hexagonal tiling and get the hexagonal object, and that's it. Not really much of a work here. I think despite Jaume Sanchez did something like this. Despite hexagonal, he played with this thing, yeah. It was his tweet. I mean, a lot of different people played with this one, but yeah. I wouldn't lose another chance to give the shout out to this amazing person. If you don't follow him yet, you should, because he's one of the, I don't know, foundations of the webgl community. Well, not the foundations, like, I don't know. The GOAT. Right, I'm gonna read the chat. And thank you guys. Is there a way to keep SSR reflection but with the vertex? Yeah, of course there's a way. You just have to replace, like if you go into the basically if you go into the SSR thing, where is it? SSR shader. So they have the, where is it? It's not just shader, it's SSR whole thing. Yeah, so basically they invoke here normal material, as you can see, and what you should do is just replace, just basically copy pasting this SSR pass, replacing this normal material with your normal material, where you add like this thing to the vertex shader, and that's it, and it's gonna work. It's just that it requires you to copy paste it, and this another step, and I just, maybe it's not worth doing it during the stream, but this is the way. And well, I've made something like fur or the grass, but it wasn't like something that the Bruno Simon lately did. So maybe you should check out his tweets. He's lately, I think, released a week or so ago, released his demo with the grass. Bruno, shout out to Bruno. Should be one of his recent tweets, probably. Maybe not. Oh yeah, this is the one. So maybe you should check out this one. Really neat demo by Bruno. Hello to commentary. Thank you, Chris. Alright guys, so I'm gonna be finishing this out. I'm happy that you spent this hour with me. Hope you learned something new. Let me know in the comments. This also helps spreading this video. Maybe I'll get 1 million subscribers or something finally. Anyway, there are some workshops by me in the process right now, so hopefully I'm gonna release them in the following month. Those are gonna be about GPU, and some landing kind of HTML plus WebGL thing, combining everything. So thank you guys for being with me. Gonna go continue with my Kiev life. And wishing you a happy week, a safe week, and hope it's gonna be alright for all of us. And Slava Ukraini, my Ukrainian friends and everybody else. Viva Iota. Yeah. Yes, Viva Iota. Alrighty. I'm gonna stick in the chat for a couple of minutes to reply to any questions, but otherwise, wishing you a good week. Say some kind words to everybody that you love. See ya.